You are listening to And Stuff with Don and Mike on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and other podcast venues.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Don.
How are you today?
I am well. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, thank you. How are you feeling?
I am joyous.
Joyous. That's a big word.
That is the big word.
So, another day.
I don't get paid a lot, so 50 cents, 25 cents.
Yeah.
There's no way to win that one.
Yep.
The government takes all your money. And it's tax season, too.
Yes, it is. It's tax season.
Yes. Where
It's only a couple of weeks away from... Actually, it's about a week or so away from getting robbed by the government.
Yeah. I got to pay $200 to get my $300 back from the federal government.
Well, it's like a monopoly.
It is.
You know, you play the Monopoly game, and then you pick that community chest card, and it says you owe like $75 for taxes.
Yeah, I wish I could owe $75 for taxes.
Yeah.
Apparently, I have to pay a lot.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah, and I don't do anything. Although maybe I should start like companies and foundations and charities and just have a $10,000 tax bill for people doing complicated tax returns for me.
Yep.
I don't get any of that stuff. I am not savvy when it comes to any of that stuff.
Well, maybe there'll be an end to the means.
Well, you know what? If they don't come knocking on my door, so long as I stay honest and they don't ever have to audit me, I want to live my whole life and never get audited.
Well, the thing is with inflation going through the roof and everybody getting a little chunk of Uncle Sam's money, that they're like, oh, let's do a stimulus. And then they give us $400, $600, whatever. And then they're like, oh, yeah, remember we gave you that money?
Yeah.
So now you got to pay tax on it. Well, I thought it was a gift. Nothing's free.
Yeah, that was that first stimulus we got.
Yeah.
And then there's always, the bill always comes due, man.
Which started with George Bush, I think.
Yeah, it did. And you had to pay the taxes on that stuff.
Yeah, just like every year when we, you get your tax refund if you get one, if you're lucky to get one. What happens? Then next year they say, how much did you get? And then they tax you on the money that they taxed you on.
Yeah.
And it's, for years and years. So it's like you never get a break.
Yeah, when I was, I've only ever been on unemployment once. And when I was on unemployment, they would do something like, you get a letter all of a sudden and they paid you too much. Mm. So they're so bad at their job, they can't even keep track of how much they're paying you. So I called it recycling money. They would take money out of the money they were giving you that you already paid into. Mm-hmm. Because you pay for unemployment. You pay for all that. Anyways, they would recycle the money. They would take $100 off of whatever it was they're paying you, and it would go into paying them back for the money they overpaid you. It never made any sense to me.
So why would, if they make the mistake?
Why am I paying for it?
Yeah, because that doesn't make sense. So you made X amount of dollars, and then they say, okay, well, they know how much you made. So now they're going to say, okay, you are eligible for, say, $300, let's just say. So they give you the $300 because they said that you are eligible for this amount of money, and then they come back and go, oh, we goofed.
They didn't. They would absolutely, and they would say, they'd make you go to a court and sit down with a judge who's just got the easiest job in the world because she doesn't really listen to anything they're saying. She just says, oh, yeah, you got to pay. Next. Oh, yeah, you got to pay. Next.
Yeah, that's not right.
And it was just this, it was very insulting. I remember that day because I got on the way, rushing to get there. It's in the middle of Van Nuys. Mm. Rushing to get there, I got a ticket.
Oh.
And I got a ticket in a car. I had a car that wasn't registered. I had the day pass from the DMV. And I had insurance on it. But did the Van Nuys police care? No, Van Nuys police didn't. They just wrote me a ticket. And you go to the Van Nuys courthouse, where it's even more an assembly line. Mm-hmm. It's just, man, it is such a scam.
Yeah, I've been there many times.
I absolutely have. I'm going to live my life not having to go there again.
Yep.
Not having to go to court. I don't ever want to go to court.
Yep.
I don't want to put my hands in the put my fate in their hands.
Yep.
That scares the living crud out of me. That's enough to keep me from doing stupid stuff.
So then how do we stop it?
No, I don't know. Revolution?
Yeah. We'll vote them out of office, but those are all elected. Well, we're not in Van Nuys, so we can't. I mean, it's LA County, I guess.
It's LA County. That's why it's horrendous, because it's such volume.
So we're in the middle of April. It's almost Easter. Today is actually, I think, Palm Sunday.
Today is Palm Sunday.
So the pollen is horrendous out here. The winds have been blowing like crazy.
Yeah.
I went from feeling great and wonderful to feeling like duty.
Allergies suck.
Oh my gosh, the pollen in the air, and we live in an area where it's windy all the time, and
dry.
Dry. So not only does the pollen get sucked up into your nose, but then it gives you bloody noses and
then everything on your
congestion.
body just starts to shrivel up. You're like constantly dry all the time.
Yep.
It's a hard place to. Although I don't know, there's worse. So we don't have any humidity.
Yeah, we could be in the Ukraine right now.
Could be in the Ukraine right now, 100%.
Dodging missiles.
That's terrible, and my heart goes out to those people.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, we have tax season and dry, windy weather.
Yeah, and they're gonna dry up our little nest egg if we had one.
Yeah, if we're able to save one. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
That foot that's on our neck all the time has to be clad in the finest leather.
Yes. Yeah.
Not that I'm that much of a revolutionary. I just want to not have to deal with any of that shit and live my life.
Yep. So quick shout out to the family of Dwayne Haskins, who tragically died yesterday in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
He was a Redskin quarterback, traded to Pittsburgh, and apparently he was walking on the interstate for whatever reason we don't know yet, and what they reported was a dump truck hit him and killed him. So
You said it's in Florida, right?
yeah.
Is that one of those Florida things where in every other part of the country, walking on the interstate's kind of weird, but in Florida, where like everyone does it?
You see, now maybe he ran out of gas. Maybe I don't know. I'm hoping that it wasn't drug or alcohol induced to make him get out of his car.
Yeah, that would be terrible. But Florida's like its own world. I have a feeling it's probably like something everyone does in Florida.
Yeah. Well, let's my prayers out to the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we were talking. We talk all the time. We work together, as we all know, and we always come up with these things while we're just sitting there. We're talking, just like people are amazed at the stuff we say, and too bad we don't have cameras around.
That's probably the biggest thing I hear all the time. We should have been recording that.
Yep.
And then we get here, and then we just don't have anything to say to you guys.
Yeah, like now. So, but one of the things that I do think about is words that we use every day. Take, for instance, I shop a lot at big box, home improvement stores. And, I see somebody I've been dealing with, an employee there, and I'm like, hey, Joey, how you doing? Good.
Good, yeah.
Not just good, but good.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
That's because he's making sure you know that he's not just good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Or how about this one? Let's say you're trying to walk through the door, or somebody's trying to walk through the door, and you're like, oh, excuse me. Oh, you're fine.
It's all good.
Yeah.
That's my saying.
What does "oh, you're fine" mean?
It's all good. That's what it means. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. One of my favorite words is thingamajiggy. I say that a lot.
Yeah.
And I should know the name of whatever tool or whatever thing I'm pointing at, but this thingamajiggy, or that thingamajiggy, or this thingamajiggy.
Yep.
I don't even know what a thingamajiggy is.
and we work with a lot of Spanish people, and you married the Spanish lady, so of course it's that chingadera over there.
Yeah, chingadero.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of chingaderos. I'm not 100% sure if that's, I have a feeling that's a bad word.
It is.
So
from what they tell me, it's a bad word.
So I'm pretty sure we're just like insulting things.
Yeah, but it's like that effing thing.
Oh yeah, and there's I've been told by my Spanish families and friends that I say one of the ultimate white guy things, which is effing A.
Yeah.
I don't know why or where it came from.
That's from our youth.
Yeah, but effing A.
Yeah, but we use the F word.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know,
this is a family show.
Yeah, we try to be. Lots of thingamajiggies. Although I don't say widget a lot, but there's widgets out there too, which is some kind of thing. I have no idea. And then we have a lot of dadisms too. You know, since we're both dads, old white guys, and we work. So you know, colder than a witch's tit.
Yep. Oh, that's like when we were dating.
Yeah, and it was a long courtship.
Yeah, it was like, well, not us dating, but not. Anyways, it's like you got to have pickup lines. Remember those pickup lines? Like, hey, you looking for a stud? I got the STD. All I'm looking for is you.
I don't know if we want to say STD.
Yeah,
but you know, did it hurt? Falling all the way from heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I had a friend of mine when I was younger. He picked it, and I swear his girlfriend, his wife now, loved it. But I was there when he did it. It was at the Hat on Los Feliz, and he walked up to her, told her, "Hey, you like apples?" And she goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, I want to take you home and screw your brains out. How you like them apples?" Mm-hmm. And she actually, instead of slapping him like I thought, like we all thought, she just started laughing. And he bought her a drink. And it wasn't screw, it was the F word. Mm-hmm. But, and it worked. It's amazing. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Women are funny that way anyways. You just never know.
Yeah. Or like with my brother, it's like, you're going to date me, you know it, right?
Oh, that's so threatening.
That was, yeah, but he used it and it worked. It worked. Yep.
I had a friend of mine whose philosophy was, but keep in mind, he was really good looking. He looked like Paul Newman, and well, he looked a lot like Paul Newman, and he was very popular with ladies.
The salad dressing?
Yeah, the salad dressing guy. He would make out with them, and then his philosophy was to put his junk in their hand. And he said 80% of the time it worked 100% of the time. And I guess it worked. He was very popular. Mm. I never had the guts to do it.
Nah.
He kept telling me to try. You just try it, man. Like, no, I think I'm good.
Yeah. Try to put his junk in somebody's hand.
Yeah, that's just weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, but anyways, it helps to look like Paul Newman, I guess.
This is California.
And I think he's a pretty successful producer now, actually.
Yeah. He's producing a lot of people being like weirded out by it.
Yeah, producing a lot of weird stories.
Yes.
We got tons and tons and tons and tons of more words. So, how about it, Don?
I'm thinking.
Well,
weirded out right now.
Weirded out's another one.
Yeah.
I don't understand weird, because it's so subjective. What you think is weird might be happy to me.
Same with comedy. The comedy is very subjective too. So I'll tell a joke and it'll be like, you're an asshole, but everybody else is laughing like crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
I usually find the one person not laughing at the joke makes me laugh harder. That he says, "Oh, look at him. He can't figure out the joke. Oh, bless his heart."
Well, not only that, it's not. I don't think it's that he can't figure it out. I think what it is they're offended.
Yeah, that's something I don't get either.
Offended. Everybody's offended.
But it's no surprise after all this time, all these years, people saying silly stuff, and we're still offended by like things comedians say. I don't get that.
Well,
it's a comedian. You can say, "Oh, that was wrong. That's great," or you can just not watch what they're doing.
turn the channel or get up and get out of the comedy place that you went to see him.
People do
her.
get like majorly offended, and it's just weird to me.
Yeah, I'm offended.
I've been to like the Laugh Factory and all that when people like stood up, yelled at the comedian, and ran out.
Look at the Dice Man. I mean, so the Dice Man, Andrew Dice Clay. If you're watching, how you doing?
Oh yeah, how you doing?
But the Dice Man. I mean, he made a career out of limericks and
just being the dirtiest
just
man.
And it's what it is. He got. I think what happened was he got so popular because he said stuff that other people just either didn't think of or they thought of it and never said it. But he just came out and did it.
And he did. You know what? I admire that guy's. And it's a little weird listening to his stuff now because it is. I mean, we're so PC now, and
I still think it's friggin' hilarious.
Oh yeah, but there's some things in there that are really bad. But I absolutely love him. At the time, if you had asked me who my favorite comedian was, it would have been Andrew Dice Clay.
Yep.
And I still admire and love the guy. So.
But then what happened? The women. There were certain women that decided that America should not hear these types of jokes because it was disparaging towards women. No, it was disparaging towards a certain group of people that he knew or knew of. It wasn't against all women, but cancel culture back then.
Even back then, yeah.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, you got to look at that guy was selling out stadiums before any comedian was selling out stadiums full. So, I mean, obviously he had a huge fan base, and I think when you're that big, half your fan base are the people that hate you. They just want to see what you're seeing next.
Yeah.
So he made money either way.
So even in my life, I tell a lot of jokes and stuff, and people, even if they get offended, they'll still ask me my opinion on things, knowing that I am the way I am, and I will give them my opinion. And then they get offended because I gave them my opinion, and it's what they asked for in the first place.
Yeah, well, don't ask.
So let's see. They wake up in the morning, I think, and say, I want to be offended. So let's go talk to Don.
A lot of people are that drama magnet. They need the soap opera to survive. I've known people like that.
Yeah. Hey, Don, what do you think of this? Well, I think this. How dare you say that?
Well, then don't ask.
You knew it was coming.
Don't ask me.
Jeez.
It's not surprising. Not surprising.
Well, it just, I guess I'm still a little tiny bit naive, hoping that people will change. I grew up back east, and I guess I just grew up thinking that, everybody was kind and it's still a hope for me that I believe that everybody has kindness in them. But a lot of you surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see.
You don't.
I'm still waiting to see how many people are kind. I mean, I am a huge optimist, and I love people. I absolutely love people, but it never, very rarely do they miss the opportunity to disappoint.
Yep. So we're going to talk about this and other things when we come back.
Yeah.
And we're back.
We are back.
So we were just talking off air about stuff that was around that we used to like to do, and Mike brought up something. What was it, Mike?
I think it was called out in Anaheim, in LA. Here we have like medieval times, and not only Disneyland but medieval times. I think there's like a pirate one out there where you go to dinner and you watch a pirate show, which actually be kind of cool. I don't know if it still exists, but I went to one years and years ago that was a cowboy one. Where they had this.
Was the pirate one R-rated?
R-rated. I don't know, but there was a lot of booty in it.
Booty.
I haven't been to it, so I don't know. There could be a lot of booty in it.
Do you know what the pirate's favorite letter is?
No.
Just take a guess. What is the favorite letter of a pirate?
Is it R?
No, it's the C.
Shh. So they had like this trick shot woman who was incredible. She was like flipping the guns and jumping through lassos and doing all that. And so, to which I asked if Don had ever been to one of those shows.
Yeah, and I had never been to either one of them.
Medieval Times I've been to.
But I did go to the Tournament of Champions, or Tournament of Kings, rather, in Excalibur in Vegas.
Which I'd never been, but I always thought about going.
Yeah, it was. I have pictures of all of us, there. It was actually cool. It was one of those times where, you go to Vegas and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait and you're in a line and blah, 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 blah. And they serve you it was cool because what they served you on a silver looking plate.
Pewter plates, yeah.
Yeah, pewter plate. Some chicken. Like that you eat with your hands.
Same thing as Medieval Times.
Yeah, and then
like a soup you drink.
A bowl of soup and some other stuff.
Like a kind of chunky bread, like
Yeah, I forget, but yeah, it was cool. I would love to do it again now that the kids are grown.
So they can pay for their own way?
Well, not only, yeah.
And so they can pay for me.
And I can enjoy it instead of going, sit down.
Stop fidgeting with your sister.
Sit down. Yeah, that was the first time I ever had tomato soup.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like a tomato basil soup, and friggin' I love it now.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So
same thing with Medieval Times. They have the soup, they have the buns, and I got to meet the king and queen. There's a picture somewhere. My wife and I meeting the king and queen.
Wow.
So and then we sit. You can pay to sit down in the front row.
Oh.
And I don't recommend it because when the horses go galloping by, they throw the dirt up and over the little partition.
Oh, yeah.
And like into your food.
Yeah. Or
I still ate it.
Or horse puckies.
Yeah. But it was a hell of a show. They really do go like all out for the performances. Really, really a lot of fun. I recommend it.
Now, my buddy Sam Ayers, who is an actor, which one of these days he did say he would do the show. He used to work for Universal Studios in the Wild Wild West show.
Oh, like a stunt guy?
Yeah,
those were great shows.
He was a stunt guy, and he was an actor as well. But I forget what his name was. Buck something.
Wild.
Yeah, Buck
Naked.
Buck Naked, or I don't know what his name is. Hey, Sam, if you're watching, Robin, Alexis. But he was a crazy dude and big guy. He's got to be 6'2", 6'3". And
well, yeah, those shows were no joke. I mean, they're jumping off of stuff, punching each other, shooting each other, running. I liked them.
Falling off the
balcony,
the saloon. Yeah,
yeah. I always loved those shows. One of my favorite parts of going to Knott's Berry Farm and the Animal Show.
Yeah,
or Universal Studios. Excuse me. Senility's a bitch.
He was in like Thunder in Paradise, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was in The Pretender as Sam the Sweeper.
Sam the Sweeper.
Yeah, and he's done a lot of commercials. I'm sure you've seen. So we're going to try to get him on. He told me he promised me he would do it. He and I became friends many years ago and good buddies. I love his whole family. He's out there in Tennessee.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I'd like to go to Tennessee.
He was here and he was down in White Oak and Burbank area.
Oh yeah.
And then he moved to Palmdale. And then
I think a lot of people made that move.
Yep.
A lot of people went from like L.A., Glendale, Palmdale, or went to Palmdale.
Yeah, and now he's out in Tennessee.
That's another drastic move. That's wow.
Yeah. I can relate because I've moved from coast to coast.
I guess, yeah, once you've done that, right, it's not really that big of a deal, or it's not outside of your realm of reality.
Yeah.
I've been to the Florida, but I've never really seen the East Coast because Florida's kind of...
that's an anomaly.
Yeah, it's like touristy, and I went to Orlando, so probably the most touristy spot in the world.
Speaking of Orlando, hi, Orlando. One of our Cal-wide people in Rah-Rah.
Oh, yeah, Rah-Rah. We got to get them on the show soon, too.
Yep.
And we just had, I hope you guys have watched, this is the first time, it's just him and I in a while. It's just been guest after guest.
Yep.
So we need to know how you guys liked him, what you think. So far, everyone's loving Jamie.
Yeah.
We just dropped Chun's video, so
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel.
So Chung, we're going to give a shout out to Chung because Chung is a guy that always wanted to do a podcast. And so I kind of corralled him into, you'll see if you watch the video, I said I put a gun to his head and said, no, you're going to be on the show. Actually, he wanted to do it. And I think he wants to do his own show.
And that's us encouraging him.
So we were trying to get his feet wet. And hopefully that'll help him out.
Don and Mike making dreams come true.
Yeah. And then I get 50% for royalties if he does something.
And then another 25% for producing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, then we get a whole 25%, John.
And then another 18.5% for discovering him.
That's true.
So he's negative right now.
He owes us.
He owes us money.
He's the most rednecky guy I know. He's got a whole entire truck still at the bottom of a sinkhole in Maine.
But it's funny okay, he is a Korean dude, and I don't care where you come from. You bleed, I bleed. It's all the same stuff. But it always when you think of a redneck. You think of, that was my dog, by the way. When you think of a redneck, you think of this dude from the South driving an old pickup truck with a rebel flag.
Pale redheaded white guy.
Yeah.
With a bright red neck.
Yeah, with 3 teeth and they're all crooked. And I thought it was funny too, dog.
Yeah. This dog's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah. So do I, because I have all those dogs.
Yeah.
But then you see Chung, and he does the same thing. It's I guess it's a stereotype.
Yeah, we're overcoming a stereotype because it doesn't matter. Redneck is a way of life.
It's like Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard, or
who had the best
Gomer.
Oh yeah, Gomer.
Gomer Pyle, who originated on Andy Griffith. Or what was the other? His cousin Goober.
Goober,
Gomer, and Cooter.
I love Andy Griffith. Yeah, you're right. It's a stereotype. It doesn't matter. They have rednecks in Korea. They have rednecks in Africa. They have rednecks everywhere. It's just kind of a style, a way of life.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of them are pretty creative, imaginary people, just making do with what they got.
Yeah.
So, hats off, man. Can't argue.
Yep.
And Chun's right there at the top of them.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. I enjoy. I like talking to him. We both have similar political beliefs.
Yeah, way right field.
Well, he's way right. I'm more centrist right. But I don't even know if he's way right. Let's just say he tends to go right of center.
Right. So when he walks, he's leaning to the right.
But it was a great time to have him last week. And
I enjoyed him immensely, actually. And we didn't get much into it, but I know he's a geek, a nerd like me.
Yeah,
he's a big Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel.
Yeah, that's when I'm just gonna pull my pillow, and when you guys start talking about that, I'm
just fold up and go to sleep.
No.
How mighty Thor's hammer is, you're out.
Yeah.
Although we did just, I did not with Chum, but I did just go watch the new Morbius movie.
Oh.
And yeah. I'm waiting for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, well, I think it is kind of strange myself that you grown men would watch that shit.
Well, I grew up reading the comics. It's just a wish fulfillment from when I was a kid.
But the thing is, okay, so it sells right now. I get it.
It's the big thing.
But when you were a kid and you read a book or you read the comics, you infer things. Your imagination runs wild because you're reading these things, and then now it's you. Now you're watching these movies, and now it's somebody else's perspective on the thing, and it could change your perspective because somebody else.
Yeah, like Captain Marvel wasn't a woman.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel was a guy, but I really, really dig it as being a girl. Now it's a great perspective.
It changed your perspective,
and not to mention the fact she is incredibly hot.
But is that healthy? Is that healthy for?
Sure, you need to. change your. You can't be locked into one view. You got to see things in different ways all the time. It makes life more interesting. You got to see things for everything, or see that there might be more than one possibility of something.
Okay, but
not always pleasant, but it.
But doesn't it hurt your feelings, kind of?
No, well, there are things that you hold dear, like Batman, and I like Robert Pattinson, and everyone's saying he's done a great job, but Batman's kind of like our James Bond. I wouldn't put an American as James Bond,
right?
But Batman's an American. We put Robert Pattinson. But apparently he crushed it, so I can't even be mad about that.
In my opinion, and who the hell am I? There's two Batman. Two.
Adam West.
Adam West and Michael Keaton.
Yeah. No, there's been a lot. There's been Adam West, Michael Keaton, George Clooney, Val Kilmer, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, he's also British, but he's able to pull off an American accent.
It's funny. I didn't really think about it. He's so good at it. I didn't even think about it. But he's such a good actor anyways. And, now to say that, I guess I just cannot be mad. It just struck me as weird.
Yeah.
But Robert Pattinson, man, everyone says he's doing good. I've yet to see it.
Robin, let's go to the Bat Cave.
No, please.
And then Alfred originally was British.
Yeah.
And so he's probably the American dude.
Maybe. I don't know who plays Alfred in this one. Wasn't it Michael Caine for Christian Bale?
Yeah.
There is a great show
Alan
called
Napier for Adam West.
Oh, yeah. He was good.
Yep.
He was good. I know that there's a show based on Alfred, and it's called Pennyworth. And it's a pretty good show where it talks about him being a spy and army guy and all that. It's a good show.
So do you see the similarity? So think about back in the Batman one in the 60s, where you had Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson and Albert, and who lived with them?
Well, I always thought it was weird that Batman had to have Robin.
Yeah. And Aunt Harriet.
Dressed in tights and shorts.
Aunt Harriet. And his underwear he put on the outside.
Yeah.
Aunt Harriet was living with him. And then now go back to, that was his aunt. Now go back to Andy Griffith. It was Andy Griffith, or, Andy Taylor, rather. You had Opie and Aunt B.
Aunt B, yeah.
So, I don't, where the aunt always has to live with these guys?
I guess so. Well, you got to have a woman figure, right? You got to throw a woman in there.
How about mom or sister?
We know why with the Adam West one, because, if you didn't have at least some woman in there, it was pushing the gay boundary pretty good right there.
Yeah.
And, not that there's anything wrong with that. Batman can still kick just as much ass. Yeah, Adam West did.
He would do the Will Smith and slap somebody instead.
Yeah, kapow!
Slap.
Sammy!
Yeah, zowie. Kablooey. Kerplunk. So.
Yeah, I the Adam West ones to me are classic just because they're just campy and they're amazing, and so overacted.
And you had Frank Gorshin. You had Burgess Meredith. You had Lee Merriweather.
Oh, who was just stunning?
I have all of their
You had
autographs.
Eartha Kitt?
No, I don't have Eartha Kitt, but I have Lee Merriweather's autograph picture. I have
that would have been a good get.
Adam West. I have Burt Ward. I have Burgess Meredith. I have all of them. Frank Gorshin.
Eartha Kitt with her sexy voice.
Yep. She had. She was a singer.
She was.
And
but yet you gotta get Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton's now.
Yeah. You ever dance with the devil in the pure moonlight? So I can't believe I actually know.
You do know her. That's because everyone saw that movie.
Yeah.
Everyone our age saw that movie.
You could have been kissed by a rose on the face.
Yeah. Oh, hey, seal.
Yep. Which they really should have sealed his face.
Oh my God, it's lupus. He had lupus.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And he's single now. He's no longer with Heidi Klum, who's looking really
so
good.
You're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance, yeah. I don't know. I think she's with somebody already.
Yeah.
They don't stay on the market long when they're that pretty.
And rich.
And rich. But yeah, the if you're gonna follow, you gotta follow your Batman timeline. So you need to get some more Michael Keaton autograph. And
I have Michael Keaton's autograph. I do.
And he trips me out because he's back into the Marvel universe. So in a big way. So he's about to do some more big stuff with Marvel. That guy just never goes away. He's just always working.
And somebody said, and I have to look into it, because if it is so, I'm going to lose my friggin' mind, because I heard he's doing another Beetlejuice. Was it you that told me?
Part 2.
I cannot wait. Beetlejuice is one of my favorite movies.
So hope
of all times, baby.
That's actually pretty good. I so hope that it's good. You know what I mean? Because I love how just out of left field Beetlejuice is. You know, the whole movie's premise based on 2 people that die right in the beginning. You know, and it's such a good premise, and I hope they carry through with that. I don't want anybody to die in it, but maybe they'll.
But it was Alec Baldwin, so
yeah,
maybe,
and Gina Davis.
Yeah, and Gina Davis. So
at their prime too.
I watched The Exorcist 37 times, and it keeps getting funnier every time I see it.
Zagnut. That's the first time I ever heard of Zagnut.
Oh, that was I used to eat those when I was a kid, man.
It's like a back east thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm sure, but I used to eat them. It's like it's almost like a Butterfinger, and instead of the chocolate on the outside, it was like coconut.
Oh,
it was good.
I don't like coconut.
It was good.
But candy bars, you know, what are you gonna do? They're delicious. Excuse me.
So there was we all know about the Oscars and how Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah, the slap heard round the world.
Yes, and we would be remiss if we didn't think about how stupid.
add our stupid 2 cents to it.
Yeah. So I mean, they said Will Smith never did drugs, but I saw him. I just screwed that one up.
Go ahead, do it again.
I saw him.
Was it something to do with crack or?
No, I saw him do a rock. Yeah.
Oh, stop doing rock.
I saw him doing a rock on the Oscars, no less.
Well, I gotta tell you, I was really impressed with Chris Rock, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll be back after this. And we're back.
We're back.
So I'm going to explain why I keep doing that. And we're back. So years ago, I went to radio school. And they used to teach us that when people talk, hey, how's it going, everybody?
Put your radio voice on.
That's the Mr. Microphone voice. So, and everybody, if you listen to like Dallas Raines from Channel 7, he does. It's 75 degrees in the city. It's going to be a great day. 75 on Saturday.
What's up, Dallas Raines?
Yeah, we love you. But he does the Mr. Microphone, and it was big in the 50s and 60s, but then people started getting their own identities and everything. So they used to tell us in radio school, the Academy of Radio Broadcasting, the Academy of Radio Broadcasting down in Huntington Beach, used to be on the corner of Magnolia and what the hell was it? Magnolia and whatever. Next to Jeremiah's Steakhouse. And I went there for months and months and months and then graduated and all that stuff. Anyways, the rest is history. But they used to keep telling us, when you're on air, don't use that Mr. Microphone voice. So, of course, me being who I am, every time, it would be kind of like we'd be in the studio and we'd be doing, you'd have to go and you'd have to do the weather. You'd have to do the headlines, and then you'd have to do the intro and the outro of the songs. And then you wouldn't tape the song, but what we would do is we'd play the whole song and then just do the intro and the outro, and we got used to where the intro and outro was. But every single time, and especially when my teacher, Patty Peach, who was on satellite radio, and she worked for KLOS and other stations, she would always crack up because I'd be like, hey, we're back, and stuff like that. And she would keep telling me, Don,
stop doing it.
Don't you we don't do that anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry about that, Patty. So it just stuck with me. It's kind of stupid, but I think it's funny.
Yeah, it is. It's
people
classic.
People laugh when I do it at work. Big B, he asks me to do it sometimes because he gets a kick out of it.
Yeah, it's a classic. You can't go wrong with the classics. Speaking of classics, Chris Rock getting slapped.
Yeah, that was a classic.
So
he smacked the taste right out of that dude's mouth.
You know what? I don't think Chris Rock's getting enough credit for doing what he did. I think he took it, he was shocked at it, and he, like a man, powered through the rest of what he was supposed to do without losing his cool, without going off on anybody. He was handling it like a true man. He did a great job. I think he needs to be commended.
I agree, 150%. The thing that just took me aback about it was the fact that, it was ha 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 ha. He made the joke about G.I. Jane.
Which wasn't really that bad of a joke.
It wasn't a bad joke.
Demi Moore looked awesome in that movie. She was so good looking.
But then, and Will Smith was laughing, and then Jada Pinkett Smith rolled her eyes and leaned into Will, said something to Will, and that's when Will lost his marbles and went up and slapped Chris Rock. So I'm suspect to this whole thing.
Of it being fake?
I'm suspect.
Fake, yeah.
Because she probably, how do you know she didn't, because the Oscars, that was the second lowest rating in history of the Oscars. So they have to do something, but then they banned him for 10 years.
Yeah, they banned him. Does it matter?
Who cares?
It's Will Smith, man. It doesn't matter. The guy's a box office draw, no matter what. It's like Eddie Murphy. It's like they can never do no wrong.
And then he's going to say, "Oh yeah, it's." I hope he doesn't say, "Well, they're doing it because I'm black," or they're doing it because. Think so. I hope not.
He did it. He did it to himself.
Yeah,
and,
he did.
I know. I understand that relationships make us all crazy, and but I love Will Smith, and I'm a big fan, but I think he's letting that one get the best of him.
Well, I was a big fan when he had the Fresh Prince.
You didn't love Wild Wild West?
No.
What's up with that, man?
Because so that was one of those things. So I don't there are very, very few remakes that I like. So Robert Conrad.
Oh, I love the original Wild Wild West.
Was
Jim West.
Jim West. And so when somebody else does it, it's like, well, Jim West, Robert Conrad wouldn't do it that way. Or there was no comedy. I mean, there was comedy, but it was like, it was subtle comedy in the original.
Yeah, oh yeah. The other one was, it's funny because the original Wild Wild West and the movie too, they were sci-fi.
Yeah,
they were spooky. They were a lot more than what you think they would be. Which is what I really liked about them. They were kind of Outer Limits-y or Twilight Zone-y.
Yeah, the Twilight Zone.
Set in and I'm sure it was all the same writers and stuff that was doing because all that same era. But it's such a good movie, or it's such a good show. I still watch them to this day. I absolutely love them.
Yeah, but I didn't like the remake.
I watch it just because it's like a tribute. They're never going to make another Wild Wild West, and Robert Conrad for sure is not going to ever do one.
No, he's dead.
Yeah. So, you take what you can get. And, it happened to be Will Smith and Kevin Kline, who is a very good comedic actor. He's a very good actor, period. But he was the only guy who could play Artie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get another one, so might as well enjoy it.
Yeah,
they didn't ruin it for me. That's some remakes are.
He didn't ruin it for me either. But I just I went into it thinking, here we go. Like songs, certain songs that are much better. They should have left the original alone.
Oh, like Weezer's Africa.
Now that sounds almost note for note like Toto.
It is exactly the same. Why did you do a note for note exact copy? Anyways, it's a great song. You can't go wrong. But why would you do it exactly the way Toto did it?
And everybody does, samples Queen, and everybody samples Zeppelin, and everybody samples, even Vanilla Ice.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, did the Queen another one by Under Pressure rather, and
that's not true. He won the case.
No, Queen won the case.
Well, he won the court case.
No, he did not. I can show you documentation that he lost.
I remember him, but coming on TV and talking about how they ruled it because it was a different beat. It was like boom, boom, dum, 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 dum. It wasn't whatever the Queen. I just remember that. I didn't do any studying afterwards. I just remember him talking about how he won the case.
That was his defense, but he actually lost because they proved beyond a shadow of a doubt Queen did. And I have a book by Brian May.
It was 100% the Under Pressure song.
Yes,
it was 100%. But
he actually dubbed. That's actually John Deacon playing that bass riff. And he used it verbatim, and they twisted it just like, here's the thing. Anybody that does anything with sound or radio or whatever, you could take my voice right now and make me sound like a little boy.
You can.
Or you can make me sound like a girl, or you make me sound like a robot or whatever. They did that with that song. Back then in the 90s, it was the technology was not that great. It was on tape. So they could speed up that tape or slow it down or whatever. But when they played it, it sounds exactly like this. So you could actually take a little boy's voice and tweak it, and it'll sound like Mike or me or anybody else. It's just the manipulation of the song, of the sound.
Yeah, and that nowadays you can do that on your phone.
Yep.
It's crazy what you can do on your phone.
Yep.
And I know I always remember when that happened. I remember Jim Carrey making fun of Vanilla Ice on In Living Color, where he's coming out and dancing, and he goes, "Kick it," and his shoe comes off. It still makes me laugh to this day.
Yeah, yo, what's up, Rob Van Winkle?
Hey, I watch his show. He makes some nice houses out in Miami, mansions. As you say.
I follow him on TikTok. So he grew a beard, wearing a cowboy hat now. He actually looks pretty good.
Well, him and I have something in common. We're both married to a Cuban.
Oh, okay.
So we know what a rocambole is.
Yeah.
Or bollo, for that matter.
And how does Sofia Vergara say the...
Oh, arroz con leche! Oh, no, arroz con coco! I love that woman.
But I don't know. It's the only... He doesn't do many impressions, but that's
that's from what is it? America's Got Talent.
That was my favorite.
You guys are as good. I love you more than a rock and coco.
Yeah,
that just made us all laugh. My wife and I.
A little more than a pretty face.
Yeah, she's actually got a lot to her.
Yeah, and
then Joe Magnanara.
Oh yeah, I've got to watch that clip you were telling me about Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, I think I had seen it before, but I can't remember.
You should watch that. If you watched the first Pee Wee movie, you'd like that third one. Not the Big Top Pee Wee. Well, although my kid loves that movie, but the one he did for Netflix was just spectacularly good.
Oh, I got to check it out.
It's so good, yeah.
Yep.
I highly recommend it.
Yep. So we'll be right back after this. And we're back.
We are back.
So we were just talking a little bit about Easter, and we were talking about the Oscars, and we were talking about words that we use every day.
Yeah, we kind of petered out of that. Sorry. I know we have a big complaint about not following through and stuff, but we're old.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get on a schedule of the topics that we're going to talk about, and then not waver from them.
Yeah, we got to get someone in here to say standpoint.
Yeah.
So we're working on it.
Yeah, like, look, mister.
Look, we wrote this down on the dry erase board for a reason.
Yes, there's a reason. But you misspelled the word, so I don't know what it means.
That's all right. We can do it like Ron Burgundy. We just have a teleprompter.
Good.
Yeah, good. F&A.
Yeah, F&A, man. So that's going to be it for today. We're going to make a quick one. We've been going, an hour 10, hour 15. So this one's going to be a quicker one today. We're trying to streamline it a little bit. We're going to try to get into doing stuff soon.
Yeah.
Which we got all the groundwork done. Now we just have to film that stuff. And then we do have some guests coming up.
And don't forget to follow us on TikTok.
Yes, TikTok.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Follow us. We have
hashtag us.
Over 1,100 followers there.
We do in our podcast thing. I got a shout out for all of our podcast listeners. Thank you guys and girls.
Yeah, the
everybody.
podcast stuff. This is actually called a vlog.
Yeah.
And when you don't see us and you only hear us, which I get the podcast.
Which you're doing it right because we're not much to look at.
Yeah. And I just extract the audio from this, which kind of sucks because, before we go, I will say this. So when we do this YouTube thing, and we do the big word.
We do the big word.
And then there's, when you're listening to the podcast, you're going to hear a silence. And that's when I put up. So for those of you that don't watch us, but you listen to us, I'm going to explain why that happens.
Yeah,
so
good.
I'll take a couple of minutes out of your life for this. So obviously we do our salutations, we do the big word, and you're going to hear after, hey, that's a big word, and you're going to hear like 3 or 4 seconds of silence. What I actually do is I put the word up and the meaning.
On YouTube, so you get the definition.
So you can see it, and that's kind of our contribution to the.
I guess the vocabulary.
Yeah, to the vocabulary.
All 60 or some out of our listeners.
Yeah, and then 66 so far.
Oh wow, that's actually gone up quite a bit.
Yeah, so then we need more.
Yeah, we always need more. Come on.
So then you'll hear the three seconds of silence, which is the definition of the word, and then you're going to hear us do the theme song. So that's why that, and then sometimes at the end you'll hear or in between different clips, like with Chung, like last week, I put the definition of cerebral palsy.
Oh yeah.
And at the end I put if you want to make a donation, go to cerebralpalsy.org.
Every bit helps too.
Yep. So when you hear the silence, they call it dead air in radio, and you're not supposed to have more than like one second of dead air, but this ain't radio. But that's why you hear it. There's nothing wrong with your radio or nothing wrong with your phone. It's just there's clips there, Yeah,
you're not getting the whole thing.
So that's why you got to tune in.
Yeah, and get over to YouTube, like and subscribe if you want to see what we look like, or you want to see what the definition of the big word is.
Yep.
Or heck, if you want to see what our guests look like,
or if you want to flip us off, and
you can do that too. Send us our likes, comments, everything you need to. You can tell us how you really feel.
Yep.
Hopefully it's good. I want y'all to feel good.
And if not, oh well. The heck with you. But anyways, I just wanted to bring that apart, bring that to the forefront. So why am I hearing this dead silence? Every time I listen to you guys, it's because there's a clip there.
Yeah, we do it all at once. We film it and record it, and then it gets put on. It gets split up into all of our different things. So you'll see some of it on TikTok, some of it is our podcast, definitely all of it on YouTube. So it's all there.
And we're on like a bunch of different venues from TikTok, Spotify, Anchor, Castbox. We're on Radio Public.
Are we on iHeartRadio?
No. We're not that good yet.
All right.
We only have 66 people that love us on YouTube, but we do have hundreds and hundreds on iTunes, I get the analytics all the time of how many times it was played and how many, what the duration of that was and what countries people listen to us.
It's really cool. That's the part I really like.
Yeah, it's kind of cool knowing that people over in different countries listen to us.
Yeah, I like the fact that we're being listened to in Egypt. Hell yeah.
Yep.
That's cool, man. Or, Australia. And
the cool thing, how I really got into that statistic type thing is because when I wrote my book, it's being sold on Amazon, and so Amazon would send me those analytics, and it would tell me, oh, you sold 4 books in Bahrain, you sold 18 books in Africa, you sold 12 books in Germany.
Your book's on a shelf. Yeah. Somewhere in Africa, or it's some kids probably reading your stuff,
or using it for toilet paper.
That could be. It is not a 2-ply, so
yeah. But it was kind of cool for me. So now that I saw that the analytics are available on YouTube and Spotify and Anchor and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of cool. And again, there's hundreds of people that listen to us, and we're hoping that you'll help us branch out.
Yeah, tell some people if you like us, or if you know anybody else that's nerdy enough to listen to this stuff.
And if you happen to go to Arrowhead, you'll find some stickers up there. I put stickers up there. I'm going to put a couple of pictures of the stickers, or I might have last one. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm going to take some time out here in the beginning of May, and there's going to be some stickers put up.
Yep. There's some in San Bernardino. There's some in Arrowhead. There's some in Palmdale. There's some in Acton.
And we get more supporters. We can put some in New York, or more in Florida. We can put Texas.
As a matter of fact, if you write to us, I will send you a sticker. So if you go to New York, or you go to Jersey, or you go to wherever, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, I'll send you a sticker, and you can plant it somewhere.
Yeah, but once you get the sticker, you're out of the contest.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, I took a picture of it. And, here it
where's
is.
my hat?
Yeah.
Although you might get a hat if you send us a picture of where you put it.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I wanted to clarify that and explain why you hear the dead air. But that's about it for today. So, yeah. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for listening.
Yep. Have a great week, and happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter, everybody.
Cool. That'll be easier to edit.
Yeah.
I might actually be able to get that out today or tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. I'm creepy.